Hey, good evening, everybody. It is great to be with you. I missed you all so much. It's Friedman Adventures Live. It's great to be with you. And here with me tonight, Tony Gonzalez, the guy behind the scenes that makes it all happen. Tony, it's good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you.
I see you all the time.
Yeah.
Most of the time you throw me out.
I try to.
You know, Tony, actually, before I get into what we're going to be doing tonight, Tony is a huge part. Even though I told him to silence his phone, Tony's a huge part of why this show goes on because he has to wait for me on just about every single show we do. And I appreciate all your patience, my friend.
Oh, it's fun. It's to watch it, be part of it, to actually be in the background somewhat. It's nice.
Yeah, we are going to actually get into what it takes to be you're in charge of most of the stuff that goes on in the landing, and
I wouldn't say in charge. I'm the biggest helper.
okay, but there's a lot that goes on, isn't there? It's a big
Oh yeah,
job.
yeah. There's a lot of stuff going on in there. When you think about all the sport boats that have to go out, the charters that have to be made, the just stocking the shelves. I mean, it's phone calls. This time of year it's a little light, but it gets pretty crazy.
But when it's cranked up and you got 5 boats running out of here and you got people buying tackle and renting rods and returning rods and buying shirts.
Yeah, it gets really busy.
It gets crazy.
Yeah, and I feel bad sometimes. We have people come in, they want to talk to you. They want to hang out a little bit, and you can't. You're just going too fast. You're doing too much.
I get it. And of course, there is always, as the docks turn, right? I mean, there's always, we're not going to get into the soap opera stuff, but
I don't know anything about anything. So.
Every landing has it. Sometimes, if you look at it as though it's high comedy, it's pretty funny, right? If you take it too serious.
Yeah, no, you don't let it get to you.
But it's high comedy in most cases. The little feuds that are going on and all the stuff that's crazy.
I don't know of any right now.
Yeah, no, of course not.
I don't.
This place is perfect. Except the one you and I have going on,
Yeah,
right?
that's continuous, yeah.
All right, so we're going to talk about our charters. We're going to talk to Tony about his job here. We're going to talk about some current fishing information. We are going to talk about what we're doing in Mexico, some events that we have coming up. And I am going to be asking questions tonight. I think I've written down 5. And whoever answers the question correctly, and then you must text me and say, I'm the guy who won, so that when I get out of here tonight, all I got to do is go back to my text, and then I'm going to send you a code for $25 worth of Opsin Fluorocarbon. So it's going to be super easy, and I could start with a question right now. Should I do that?
Sure, let's do it.
Let's do it. Here we go. All right. See that, Tony? You look good on there, man.
Is that me? Dang, who's that old guy?
That is you, right? Hey, and you guys out there, any questions you have, please fire away. Dale, Dan in San Diego, good to see you. Isaac, great to see you. As always, Dan Smith, love you, Dan. And Kim, you guys are fantastic. Francisco, it's good to see you. And Victor from Blackfin Sport Fishing in Ensenada, mi hermano. Siempre es bueno de verte. Espero verte muy pronto. You know what that means? Forget
Not at all.
it. I can't repeat it in English. It's too dirty. Hey, before I do this,
Is it your birthday?
how'd you know?
You're wearing the hat.
No, it's not my birthday.
Whose birthday
It's
is
a
it?
couple of people that we want to
Let me
recognize.
see. Who
Go
do I
ahead.
know? Mike Morrison.
Mike Morrison is the manager of 22nd Street Landing. Tony, he's the guy that made this actually come to fruition here at 22nd Street. It was his
awesome.
idea. And so I wanted to wish Mike a happy birthday. Tell him that we
Happy
love
birthday, Mike.
him. You guys get along so well.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He's a great guy. Yeah, I mean, God, I couldn't work for a better person, I don't think.
You know, I'm sometimes, I think my schedule's busy. I look at him.
Oh,
He's on a squid boat. He's running a boat. He's running this place.
yeah.
And he doesn't let down on being a father.
Nope. Oh,
Or a husband.
No, he's like the best dad ever.
Yeah, right? I mean, his
Yeah,
kids are running
yeah,
around here
yeah, it's
fishing.
great.
He's with them.
Yeah, they're great kids, so that just proves that he's doing
Yeah,
a good job.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So, Mike, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Mike.
And then one more guy, and I could, there's probably a lot of people out there should be saying happy birthday to, but Albert Ponce. Albert, happy birthday. Albert is
Happy
a
birthday,
guy.
Albert.
He's a great guy, fishes all the time, great family, man. Introduced me to the guys down in Ensenada, always looking to help others, helps with the Baja stuff that we're doing. So super great guy. And Albert, Crystal, and the kids, I just want to wish you all a really, really special night. You're probably out doing your birthday thing right now. Maybe they're watching the Friedman Adventure Show, but I
They
kind
might
of
be.
doubt it. I doubt it. But anyway, happy birthday. Boy, I look like a goofball with that, don't I? I like that look anyway. All right, good to be with you. Let's get one question out. All right, first one that has the correct answer wins this. You want to pick one of these?
Sure.
All right. You want to read it? You want me to?
You read
I'll
it.
read it. Yeah,
I don't know if I can read you right.
Yeah, I don't think you can. All right. This has to do with the Bart Hall interview I did last night. Incidentally, Bart was great, wasn't he? He was fantastic. And listen, everybody, I'm asking you, the Bart Hall show in Long Beach is not going to be like it used to be this first year. It's going to still be really good. Bart needs your support, and then the subsequent year, it'll get right back to normal. But please get over there and show some love to Bart. 75 years, his family has been putting on these great shows, so it would be great if you could show up. And once again, he's a nice guy. I came in and met you last night.
Great guy.
Super good guy.
Yeah.
Did you go to the Fred Hall shows?
I used to,
Yeah.
back in the day, yeah.
How long have you been fishing?
Shoot, I've been fishing since I was a kid. I don't even know when I started.
Did you fish here?
I fished out here. Funny story, I used to work at Smart Final here in town.
Oh, yeah.
And that's how I met Mark and Paul back in the day.
Oh, okay.
And
They were always in there
yeah,
buying?
well, mostly Paul was in there, and he'd buy stuff, and he'd let me come down and hop on the boats, and then I'd go fishing. And before that, my family's from Redondo Beach, so I fished on the Redondo Special quite a bit.
Oh,
in the
really?
city of Redondo.
Like what years was that?
Geez, I would be.
You're younger
late,
than me, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Late 70s, early 80s.
Geez, I was there then.
Yeah.
That is freaking crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. So was Rick running the city? Rick Evinger? You remember? Or
I don't
when?
I don't remember because I was at the end of the scene like I
Yeah.
see everybody now.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I just go down and fish and it did a lot of breakwater fishing down there.
It was
back
good in those days,
back
right?
in the day, a bubble and a feather and you're tearing
Hooked
it
up
up.
on the bonita. Yeah, absolutely. All right, here we go. Everybody's saying happy birthday. David Rosenthal, another great guy. David, good to see you, my friend. And Steve Bermudez wishing Mike a happy birthday. Here's the question. Ready? All right, before Bart Hall joined his father with the Fred Hall shows, what did he do? What was his occupation? Tick, 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 tick. Oh my God, we may not have a winner on this one. I'm going to put a time limit on it too. Dan Smith says musician. Dan Smith wins $25 worth of Opsin Fluorocarbon. Good job, Dan. Love you, man. Drummer, professional drummer. Steve Bermudez is right, but he's late. That's what you get for making fun of me in the beginning, Steve. Screw you. Just kidding. And Greg B. Sales 2. Sales are something like that. Anyway, we're going with the drummer. Charles Zimmer, musician also. Chuck, good to see you. My new drone man. And he's one of the best. So let's get into a little bit about what actually you do around here. People would think that working in the landing is probably an easy thing, but you know what used to, I worked at Redondo Sport Fishing. Sometimes, and I'm not disparaging anybody, but you get some pretty goofy phone calls.
Oh yeah.
Do you get that still?
Oh yeah, we get them.
You mean, you don't get
Well,
that?
we-
What time's the 7:30 boat leave?
Yeah,
or-
yeah. What time does your half day tuna boat go out? Yeah, we get them.
But those are just people that
Yeah,
don't.
that don't know.
I get
so,
that.
So yeah, I get it too. We
Yeah.
we try to educate, but it's fun still. It's,
Yeah.
Turn around, tell everybody what you just heard.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly. I've never seen you lose your temper. I'm sure you do from time to time, but you seem to be very even keel, and you're always so polite to people. Like if I send somebody to the landing, go see Tony because I know how you're going to handle it with a great deal of respect. And
that's just me. Nothing, I don't think about it, just how it is. So.
best thing about working at the landing,
Mike Morrison.
really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him. I think he takes good care of me, and he pretty much gives me my reins, so I help out a lot. I feel like I'm part of it.
Yeah.
So it's not like I'm coming in and clocking in and going through the motions. It's hey, this has to be done. This has to be done. And he knows that he can count on us to get it done. So. He treats us pretty good.
Yeah, and Janelle, I know you two are a team and work really well together.
Yeah, Janelle.
And you guys seem to treat this like it's not just a job, but you're really concerned about how the landing does, how the boats do, everything.
It is just a job, but we want to be here, and we want it to be here. So yeah, we care about we want to take care of every part of it. If it's stocking the shelves to covering for other people, or doing whatever the shop needs, because there's a lot there. We did a remodel in it last year in the off time, and I think we're going to do a little bit more stuff this year. It's just fun to do. You feel part of it. You kind of like an ownership, but you're
Yeah.
Yeah.
Worst part about working at the landing.
Guys, go have fun on those boats.
You never get to go.
I'm
I know, right?
I'm stuck right here, but I do get out a few times a year. But that's the hardest part, especially when everything's going.
Like tuna biting.
Yeah, when the Dorado, when we're in between the tuna and the Dorado this year, it was just like
You wanted to be out there, but you can't because that's when they
we're
most.
busy. We're the busiest. So that's it. Yeah.
Somebody told me when I started 976 Tuna many years ago, they said, this is when you stop fishing, when you get into this business, whether you're doing a tackle store, working at a landing, reporting on fishing.
Yep.
And to be honest, I go on quite a few trips now, but I don't fish very often anymore
Right,
because
like
I'm
you're shooting.
videotaping.
Yeah.
And I still get guys who can't, that are like, why do you, I don't know why you can't catch one fish and I can. And when I go with my kids on a pond in Mexico or something, I do, but I'm always afraid that I'm going to miss that kid who's 12 years old catching I've caught 500, I've caught a lot of fish.
Now you're catching the images.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Now I'm catching memories. The people that come out with us.
Yeah.
And I know people, Travante, his son caught a fish. Jonathan Morales, kid on board the Amigo, caught his first tuna. And they have that in video now. So they can show that to their friends. And that's what's going to grow this business too.
Yeah. It's we got to think about the younger guys. Guys are coming up.
Slammin' Sammy says, glad these live shows are back. That makes one of us, Sammy. No, just kidding. Yeah, I'm glad too. I missed you guys. Brandon says,
Brandon, how you doing?
You know him?
Yeah.
Hello,
Brandon. Yeah.
We call him the corpse.
Why is that?
You don't know the story?
No.
So we're on the Amigo, and for some reason, Brandon couldn't get in his bunk. I don't know what was involved there. I don't know what was involved. So we get up in the morning, and there's, in the galley, you can see it's a body under a sheet on the deck that you have to step over.
I don't know if I should be smiling right now.
Yeah, you should, actually. Funnier than hell. And so I don't know, I think it was Jason, Chef Jason, I think he nicknamed him the corpse. And Brandon's got a good sense of humor.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. Good
the
guy.
corpse.
Good guy.
Tony's one of my favorites at the landing. He always gets my tackle bag together. Last minute, Phil, you know me, I'm always late. Yeah, he is, huh? I'm like, this one time he goes, I got a lot of homework. We got a boat full of people. We've got a lot of homework, so I'm going to be like an hour late. And I go, you seriously want to come? Jeff Jessup is running the boat. You seriously want to come down here an hour late? Let me get going there. Yeah.
He always makes it. So.
He does. He's a lot of fun, and he's in a lot of our videos. And in fact, I cut some stuff out. He was so enthusiastic, yelling and screaming when we were at a Dorado bite. I'm like, that's got to go in there, man.
Right?
Yeah,
that's what it's about.
Super good guy. And you obviously have made his day by doing all these great things.
Yeah, I know Brandon very well.
Tony, you've been watching the fishing this year. Pretty incredible year, wasn't it?
Oh my, yeah, like nothing I've ever seen.
Me too.
Yeah, the Dorado was crazy. The Dorado made them forget about tuna for a while and went after the Dorado, and if some boats got both, and that was great. And God, boats were full. We're sending three-quarter day boats out of here, to get those Dorado. That has been fun.
God, that was an amazing bite. How long was that? About a month?
I think it was a little bit longer than that.
I think it was.
Great bite.
It was freaking incredible, wasn't it?
Oh, the amount of fish that I seen come in was crazy.
And the part of the business that's so interesting is always a mystery. Here you have a La Nina year, cooler water year, Dorado, tropical fish, warm water fish.
Right.
And we got wide open Dorado in a La Nina year. Now, obviously, we had a bubble of warm water, and they were in that warm water. It was very warm.
It hung
was
out
up
for
over
that
70.
for a while, so they hung
But
out.
you wouldn't expect to see that in a La Nina, and that's what makes this game so darn interesting.
Yeah.
And then now, La Nina years are typically very dry in SoCal. Look
What's
at that.
going on outside right now?
Actually, today when I was driving, I mean, it felt almost not quiet, but a little like Costa Rica when you get those deluge, and you can't see. I had to slow down. Normally, the weather guys around here hype it up. The storm
lived
of the
in Missouri
century.
for a while. We called those gully washers.
It's brutal, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where you literally can't see anymore.
Yeah, you can't see.
You got to almost pull over, or
Right about the end of your hood. That's it. Yeah, yeah.
so. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just such a wild game, and that makes this thing so interesting.
Yeah.
A lot of people think, this time of the year, the captains are home, cleaning their toenails or doing whatever they do. You look at Aaron Graham; he's down here every day.
I see all of our captains a few times a week down here.
I do too.
If not every day, they're
working.
They're working hard to get those boats back out there.
Yeah, you look at the Pursuit. You look at the Native Son. Those boats are beautifully kept, man. There's a lot of more, a lot of love that goes into that.
Well, one of the things I first noticed here was how well these guys take care of their boats.
Yeah.
They do good work. The people that work on the boats, we know them all too. All good guys do great work. Yeah.
That's part of the beauty of having a studio here, because right there at that door, guys are walking in here all the time, and some are a little camera shy, so I don't get them on. But
so that kind of reminds me when I first started here and you were doing the show, and I thought it was great because I didn't know everybody here.
Yeah.
But I got to watch them get interviewed on your show,
and learn a little bit about
Jeff, Mark, Paul. Everybody was on their mic, and I got to learn a little bit about them and the ins and outs, and it kind of helped me because I wasn't in this industry. I came from a whole different industry.
Yeah,
I was walking my dog out here one day. Knew Larry up front there, could stop, shoot the. Spit with him, yeah. Trying to think of a good word there. And he asked me if I wanted a job, and that's how I ended up here. Walking my dog, I ended up here because COVID, I had lost my job previously.
Yeah.
So I've been here ever since. And that's when I came in here, and you were doing those shows, and I got an idea about it. Gave me something to talk to them about. Hey, I liked your show, and so I built relationships because of it.
Did we start about the same time?
I think I'm not sure when you exactly started. You're already doing it when I got here.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and I immediately could see you're a great person, a good guy, and that's why I'm so happy you're on here tonight. It's really good to have you on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have? Well, obviously you do, but do you have any favorite guys down here that you? I shouldn't ask that question.
Well, I me, I get along with everybody.
Yeah.
I just, I don't really have.
There's different personalities, obviously. And
Yeah.
How about Tino? Is he as funny around?
Yeah. Tino's a good guy. He just, he's very serious about what Tino knows. So, he's got his opinions about things and stuff.
Yeah, he does.
And I respect him. He's a good guy. He's always been good to me. So.
Yeah, Sean on the Pride. I don't know if he is very fishy.
Yeah.
He's gathering intel, working hard all the time. He's a great addition to the fleet here.
I think so too, because when you have somebody that brings in fish counts continuously, and he's going on special trips to do it, but he's getting those good counts. And speaking of him, we just put up a whole bunch of open parties for the Pride on our website. So if there's got his whole schedule out there for the year, just about.
Perfect.
Yeah.
What is the website? Is it
22nd
StreetLanding.com?
Yeah.
Perfect. So people can book there. They can book for any of the
They can book there, or if they have any questions, give us a call down here. Guys know what's going on too.
The Corpse wants to know, early prediction, Phil, and Tony, he's asking, will we catch albacore this year? Tony, are you tuned into this?
I'm not doing the albacore thing.
I told Aaron Graham, I saw him yesterday, and I go, almost time for albacore prediction, Aaron. He's like, oh, not that crap again.
Yeah, I'm not getting involved with that.
I'm getting involved in it.
Yeah, because you have to.
Yeah, I know.
It's
and
kind of
I've
tradition
blown it
now.
2 years in a row. I think,
This is going to be the year you get it.
Yeah, you know what I'm going to say? No albacore. Hey, I think Brandon, I think that's the way we get this thing handled. I say no albacore, and then for sure they'll show up.
There you go.
And some people say, hey, I don't understand why you want albacore. These bluefin are enormous, and they're great, and blah, blah, blah. Why can't we have both, though? Wouldn't that be cool?
It'd be way cool.
Oh, my God, if you could get a piece of both on a trip, or one day go for albacore, you're on a 2-day trip, albie, bluefin. Most of the time, they're going to be together anyway. So
yeah.
I love. Have you ever caught albacore?
No, I haven't. I've got bluefin, but no albacore.
Have you caught bluefin in this recent bite?
No, I didn't get to go in any of this.
I haven't caught one. Wait a minute. I not in this. Yeah, no, I did. Frickin' the one bluefin I caught. I'll be perfectly honest. I told my kids we were slowing down, and I was filming, and I go, "Hey, wind that troll rod in," and they don't bite the troll, and they're like, "Screw you," They're getting a bait and they're getting ready to go.
You picked up the pole.
I picked it up and I go I take one wind and I'm bit. I wind as hard as I can, and it was weird because the other troll rod got bit too, and it got bit off, and so everybody's like, what's up here? Mako shark or what? Some guys say, hey, maybe a wahoo. And so I wound mine in. It was a 40-pounder. I'm going, cool. I got a photo with my bluefin. I can ride that for a couple of years.
Right.
Yeah. But to see some of these people, there was a guy, Tony, I'm not sure, you might know the story or not, and I can't remember where he's from, but he's from Idaho or something like that. He was on board the Pride, and I talked to him, and he had flown in with a couple of kids. Anyway, they got a big, like 100-plus pound bluefin tuna. And the guy was thrilled. Maybe he'll pop on here. Who knows? He was thrilled. I haven't talked to him for a long time. But seeing people catch I've been doing this for 50-something years, and I haven't caught bluefin like they're catching now. These giant, big 150, 200-pound bluefin. It's amazing.
I came into it right at the right time.
You did.
Yeah. I've seen a lot already.
Do people take care of you with bluefin?
Oh, absolutely. Gosh.
Oh, you're all taken care of?
All the time people bring it into me. Yeah. People take care of me. They, nice people.
Yeah, exactly. Isn't that weird how that works? If you're decent to people, they're decent back?
Yeah.
Some people haven't figured that one out.
The deckhands are good to us, too. They bring us a lot of stuff.
Brandon's asking all the questions. Bluefin and albacore used to mix. You remember those days, Phil and Tony? They used to mix together when I fished them back in the day. Absolutely, Brandon.
That's what you just said.
Yeah. But they used to drive by them back, I'm talking the 70s. Like, you'd go, hey, as a young kid, you're all excited. You see a big foamer, and you're like, hey, Captain. And he's like, they're bluefin. Yeah, right. Keep going.
Yeah.
Different ball game now, man. I wonder if driving by those things was a mistake in those days. Those guys were out to catch albacore, and you only have so much time on a one-day trip.
Right.
When you're fishing 70 miles, I mean, you got that clock going constantly, and you can't burn.
Go, and go.
Yeah, exactly. And if there's nothing there, the water temp's off or something, you got to make a run or you got to change things up. That's just what you got to do. Greg cooked all the hot dogs the other day. You remember that nice event we had? Those were good, weren't they?
Yeah, had a couple chili dogs.
Yeah. Albie's Big Eye Bluefin Tuna late June. Man, there you go. There's another one with another boat. Hey, let's switch gears and get off the offshore thing because we've got some darn good bass fishing going on right now.
Oh, guys,
the Monte
Carlo.
What's going on with that?
Well, we want to get it off the dock. It's great fishing right now, and the weather's not helping today, but
and it looks like rain Saturday.
Yeah.
Did you look at that?
Yeah, I don't know what to think. So
I don't either.
They keep moving it around. We watch the weather all the time, but if you get a chance, and it takes 12 people for that boat to go out. Really good bass fishing right now. Really good limits.
How can you beat that?
I don't know. I think that boat should fish bass every day.
Yeah, because that's when the people show up, right?
Yeah.
You get more people. It's been like sliding egg sinker.
Sliding egg sinker and 3/0 hook.
Yeah. Fishing live squid?
Yeah.
Or fresh dead.
Or fresh dead.
Yeah. And it's been really good.
Yeah, really good.
Like 100 bass. Brian Burrell was in here the other day talking to me saying it's freaking good fishing right now.
Yeah.
And
great fishing. Bass fishing's the best.
Yeah, right? I mean, I'm seeing this kind of fishing going on in several locations up there in Marina Del Rey. Spitfire's been having really great days.
A bunch of the guys are going up there tomorrow. A bunch of the deckhands are going up there tomorrow.
Oh, are they?
Yeah. Heard rumor.
Uh-huh.
Gary, Trevor, Gio, I can't remember who else, but a few of them are going.
Very cool, man. That ought to be fun. See those guys get up there and catch some fish.
Yeah.
Should we do another one of these?
Why not?
How many do I have? I've got 5. All right. Here we go. Brandon says, yeah, Greg is here. We're going to get some albies this year. Hey, Brandon, where were you for the frickin' hot dog celebration we had? What's up with you? You want to pick one? All right, here we go. This question, the first one to answer. Who won the first? Let me get this right. I screwed up already. Well, they're going to. Who did win that? Oh, Dan. All right, Dan's got. I'll screw this all up. All right, here we go. What did. No, let's switch that because I want to. Sorry about that. Okay, I do shorts now. I'm not talking about my underwear. I'm talking about doing these shorts. So, on a recent short that Friedman Adventures put out, a deckhand recently gaffed a fish and fell backwards on the deck on board the Wild and Sack down in San Jose del Cabo. What kind of fish did he gaff? This is exciting, isn't it? We need some kind of a ticking clock or something.
In my head, I was going.
Yeah. Mike Trunk gets it. Mike Trunk. Mike, don't forget to text me, please. 657-227. Look at all these guys with the right answer. 657-227-6459. Mike gets it. All right. Very good. Keep those answers coming. Mako, no. It was a big thresher shark. Did you see that? Probably not.
I did.
You did?
I saw that one.
That was freaking funny because Sean Morgan, the way he narrates, whoa, 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 man on the deck. I must have watched it 500 times because I know Sean, and it just cracked me up. That it was such a funny narration to it. So it was a big thresher shark. You should check that out, everybody. I hope you're enjoying those shorts because they're a lot of fun to produce. You know, it's a daunting task, Tony, to take 10 minutes of video and get it to 15 seconds.
Every time I walk in here, what are you doing? I'm editing.
I know. People think I'm playing games on my phone. And it's like, I'm not. No, I'm editing or I'm doing whatever it takes to get a show out. You know, it's a labor of love, though. It's like you out there working your behind off, and I'm doing the same thing, except I don't get paid.
Right.
You got to play in this business, the one I'm in. It's playing the long game. Right. It's a long game. You got to have that few, and we're starting to get there. So it's nice.
Definitely growing.
Yeah. Do you hear anything ever out there? Like
all the time.
Sucks,
no. We'll have a guy walk in every once in a while and say, "Hey, does Phil do a show here?" "Oh yes." His studio's right back there. "Is he here?" "He might be."
And my door is always open.
If he's here, his door's open, unless he's filming something.
Right, you just met a guy, Joe Martinez, who just came in here.
Yeah,
Joe's
all the time.
Joe caught the biggest bluefin tuna of the year.
How big was it?
315.
Nice.
Yeah, he caught it up there on the Endeavor with my friend Tucker McCombs, who you know.
Yeah.
And it was a bitchin' fish, man. And Joe's the kind of guy, he goes on all our charters. He just signed up for every single charter we have. He will sit with you, and he will talk to you and show you how to tie it and tie this knot or what jig is going to be best and what to do. He's very generous with his.
I find that in this industry a lot. People like to share their knowledge and not be so.
Yeah, right.
They want everybody to catch fish.
Yeah, you get some guys who are a little weird about it, but for the most part, people are really good about that. Well, I guess we should go back. Were you here when we did the Mark, Paul, and Desiree interview?
Yeah, sure.
Were you standing outside there? Or
no, I was working, I was in front,
Yeah, that was a remarkable thing.
It was.
Still is.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know just whenever you pull up Phil Friedman Adventures, that's the first thing that pops up every single time because so many people are looking at it.
God, I know.
And if they haven't seen it, grab a box of tissues, boys.
I know, right? Exactly.
That will got you, yeah.
That's the kind of a thing that just transcends. You don't have to be a fisherman or an outdoorsman or anything to appreciate that story.
Yeah, it's like Danny and his storytelling. I was talking to you about that the other day. And if you guys haven't seen Danny's show, you need to watch it too. He's a great storyteller.
Yeah.
He knows everybody, been around for a long time, and those are the guys I like to listen to.
Yeah, right, because there's some, that's part of the reason why I started this was trying to preserve the history in interview form. And I hate to say this, but guys like me and older are not going to be around all that much longer. So it's nice to get them on record to talk about this business.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then kids that are coming in or other guys, you can go back and learn something.
We're very lucky because we get to see these guys quite a bit right now, and Tom Durer, and these guys aren't
Spring chickens.
Yeah, exactly. So and they know more than a lot of guys have forgotten. You got to respect that. And he'll let you know.
Oh yeah, Tom Durer. I mean, he's got he's at that age now where the filter is almost completely gone.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Which I like. It's funny.
Well, yeah.
And there's a lot of guys who think Tom is cantankerous and he's this. I've seen him cry. I know he's got a big heart.
He's a big teddy bear. Actually, he's a great guy.
He is. I love him, man. I love spending time with him. I've driven. If I'm free, he goes up to Monterey sometimes. I'll go at the drop of a hat. I like, hanging out, listening to his stories.
Yeah, he's got all kinds of stories. He sits up here with me, and he'll sit there for hours and just telling stories. And yeah, it's great. It's great,
And he's just a receptacle of knowledge about this business that is incredible.
I think he's done it all, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think so, man. He is really something special.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, his boat, the Judith Ann, I think you can charter for a half-day trip right now, $600.
Yeah.
How can you beat that?
Or a whale watcher.
Whale watch, VIP whale watch.
Yeah.
It's an incredible value, and Tom's a really good fisherman locally. I love going bass fishing with him. And, 5 guys, it's going to cost you, what, $1.25 a piece if you go with 5, if my math is right?
Right.
It probably isn't. And then,
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And the boat does 25 knots.
Yeah, you're going to get somewhere and get there to fish and have plenty of time to fish and get back.
And he knows this local zone, man. I've been in some really good bass bites with him where it is off the hook good. And with all these sand bass biting right now, that would be, I'm ready to go with that guy.
Yeah. We need to hop on there with him.
Yeah, you need to.
Yeah, we need to get on there. Yep.
What's your date? Oh no, you need to be here. What, at noon? Or I'm sure you could get a thing where you could come.
Oh, I could do it. Yeah, I know I can work out something.
Let's do that.
Yeah, we
should. That'd be fun. That'd be a fun video to shoot with you.
Yeah, we could do that.
Will you let me fish a little bit?
Yeah, I'll shoot for you.
No. You're in that office way too much. All right. Brandon says we still want to go. Phil, jump off the dock. Red won the bet of the 300-pounder. Do I have to jump off the dock? I guess. Maybe. Did I make some promise about that? You can film that. Isaac, great show, guys. Cooking dinner, but I'm here listening. Doug Rubin on the El Sueño. Good guy. Hey, Doug. Happy New Year, my friend. Hello, Phil, and Happy New Year. We got to get you out on the El Sueño this year. I'm there. I'm all over that. Greg B, he's all over that too. So yeah, I would love to go. That sounds like a lot of fun. So we have the local trips. We've got Tom Durer, and then charter boats out of here. You've got the Amigo. You got the Pride. Who else you got?
The Amigo, the Pride, the Apollo.
The Apollo
is new here. Freedom.
Yeah, you can charter that.
Yeah,
it's mostly an open party, but
it does quite a bit of charters actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, and speaking of charters, guys, you guys want dates? Right now's the time to start looking at that. Calendars are up. You can see what we got there. You pick your days and grab them while you can.
And this is not you trying to get people. You're being honest. These things book up, and then guys are like,
right.
They can't get on a boat.
I got a call, the beginning of July. Could I get a boat this week? No, you can't. They fill up fast. So.
And it's hard. Can you give advice on when? Because that's flipped upside down now.
If you know you're going to have a charter this year, get it together now.
Yeah.
Lock in your dates. Make sure that everything's locked in so that we can accommodate you. You can have a great trip and everything's good.
Hey, you guys, hit that like button, please. We really appreciate it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, tick the little bell so you'll be notified when there's new content. I'll be back in the morning with the morning briefing. Thursday, we are going to have the Danny Cadota show here, and this guy is going to stay late for us to make that happen.
Always.
Tony, once again, thank you. Danny's going to do a whole show on weather. He outran a hurricane once. He's going to delve into that. He's going to talk about whether or not boats should be going out for the bluefin. He was talking to me a little bit and saying, we all want to get out there and catch that bluefin right now, but it's friggin' dangerous. And there's always going to be nicer
We don't want
days.
somebody to get hurt out there.
No, no.
We'll go in rain.
Yeah, rain's no big deal.
Fish don't care if they're wet.
Wind,
Yeah,
and
the
big
wind
swell.
and the big swell. It's
Yeah,
no fun.
I've lost friends. So, couple guys. I mean, I can't remember Vince's last name, but Vince was a deckhand around here for a long time. I'll bet somebody will remember. And he was actually on a trip with my kids, Brian Shaw, from the LA Lakers, and Brian's son, BJ, and Brian brought another friend. And Brian caught a 50-pound white sea bass on that trip. And if I remember, Vince went in a skiff out to the west end of Catalina in absolutely horrific weather. Never seen again. You know, you got to be really careful.
Yeah, why? Why?
I don't know. You know, Tony, when I was a kid running a commercial boat, I did some really.
I know.
You're invincible, man.
Yeah.
You're immortal. I did some really stupid stuff. I was out on a bank called the 70-90 bank, which is way out past the Cherry Bank. We were fishing for albacore, of course, you know, and the weather just turned on us, man. It was not forecast, and we got out there and it was 30 knots, and we're in this boat, the Thunderfish, which is 35 feet, and I get out there and somebody came up on the radio, the Tornado, and goes, "What in the hell are you doing out here, Friedman?" And I said, I'm beginning to wonder that myself. Tony, we slid down a swell sideways.
Holy moly.
Yeah. We didn't roll, obviously. We'd have all been dead. My brother, me, this guy Leon, who's passed away.
Oh, that's crazy.
And right then I said, fricking somebody plot a course, because we were doing, you know, we had to plot a course with parallel rules and dividers. Somebody freaking plot a course for Clemente. We're fricking out of here, man. Scared the living you know what out of me. But I should have left before that. I had to get pounded over the head.
But you didn't know.
Yeah, I know, man. I mean, I'm looking at behind you, the Perfect Storm poster, and then sliding down, thinking that was almost us. Crazy.
Yeah,
You do some really
scary
stupid
scary stuff.
I
Yeah,
remember
I can
opening
imagine.
the engine room hatch, and we had ice on the boat to ice our cod, and yet you had to, you know, turn the bilge pump on. And I remember, I guess we didn't turn, looking, and the water's almost over the battery box. And we burned up the impeller on the way out, so we have no bilge pump. We do have a hand pump. So I go, you know, Paul, my brother, take 100. And he's down there 100. Okay, my turn, 100.
Right.
We got that, but we could have died then.
Yeah.
Stupid stuff, man. So, like, you know, Vince, you asked that question, why? And I agree, but I did a lot of stupid stuff myself, so it's, you know, crazy stuff. All right, let's see. We got Greg's on every trip we're doing. Greg, no kidding, you're on the trips, man. You're such a huge part of this Friedman Adventures. You're always there when we need you, so absolutely. Drop Dead Fred. It's great to be a part of this. Hey, Fred, it's great to have you here, my friend. Angelo, Smiling Fury, the Pride and the Freedom are the two fishiest boats around.
Yes,
It's hard to
sir.
argue with that, right?
No.
You know the thing with the Pride that's weird? Like, I can sit here and I know when a boat's leaving because you hear them fire up and leave. The Pride is so freaking quiet.
Yeah, it's gone. It's like his pride.
Yeah.
Oh, that's gone.
He left?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You know, it's quiet. It's hard to argue with you there. Brandon, yeah, you bet with Red last year that there wouldn't be. No, it was a 400-pounder, Brandon. Red said there would be, and you said no. No, Red has to jump off the dock. I remember it was a 400, but I could be wrong. I'm trying to get out of this. Dan Smith, Phil, did you have a albacore jig boat? Dan, no, not really, but we turned it into one because we used to sit out there on Tanner or Cortez, and we're catching rock cod, but we had the radio on. We were listening to the San Diego boys, and you'd hear Eddie McEwen come up on the Pacific Queen. Yeah, we got 40 out of that one, pretty good bite. We're jigging again. Then you hear somebody else come up. Yeah, we had to stop for 15 albies, and we're just, catching rock cod. And then
Yeah.
I look at my brother, I can't take this anymore. We got feathers on here, let's go. So we finally put, the outriggers on, and then from time to time we go fish albacore.
Yeah.
You run into them too. On Tannerbank we ran into albacore. There was a big swirl of fish, and albacore were firing on it. It was little mini boccaccios.
Oh.
And yeah, it was so weird because we saw all this commotion, birds, and we get over there. I was with Rick Effinger, who runs Marina del Rey Sport Fishing. I went to high school with him. God darn, man, they were feeding on these little bocacios. It was really cool. So
crazy.
we loaded up on those things. We did good on that trip. You've got to catch an albacore, Tony. Definitely.
I got it, yeah.
Definitely. All right, Glenn Gray, what's the ticket on getting on a local boat for hooping for lobsters? We don't do that. You guys don't do that here, do you?
No, we don't.
Could you do a charter with somebody?
Yeah, some of our 6-packs might do it. Maybe the Cameron Dawson might do it for you if he. I think he does do some hooping, but it's a charter, and you'd have to get a hold of him.
Yeah.
All the landing, we'll get you in touch with him if you want to do that.
Yeah. Somebody who does a lot of that is the Gale Force out of Port Saul Sport Vision.
Yeah.
They do a lot of that, but you can call Tony anytime, and in fact, Tony, you'll probably look into that, right?
Yeah, I will now.
Yeah. So we'll find out about that. Great questions, everybody. Keep them coming. We've got a strict time limit tonight. We got to be out of here at 8 o'clock. So we've been going. How long have we been talking, you and I, right now? Just take a guess.
15 minutes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
40 minutes.
Dang.
I know. I just looked at that and thought that was weird. It goes fast, let me tell you. All right. Let's see. Okay. Gale Force, Pescador, Trident, all running open party lobster trips. Thank you, Brandon. Tim P., what type of hooks do you recommend for white sea bass, and what size and brand? You have most of the time you're going to fish a bigger hook because you're fishing squid. Like
3-0 or above, I would think. And
a J hook, or I like a J.
People have their different views on
Yeah.
it. So yeah, J hook would work. A circle hook would work just fine.
Yep, they both work. I kind of still like setting the hook because it's old school.
Right.
With a circle hook, you just let them.
Yeah, let it do its thing.
Yeah, let it do its thing.
Yeah, depends on what kind of fishing you want to do.
Yeah. I'm thinking, Tony, that this could be an exceptional sea bass year because of the amount of market squid that's in our local waters at all the islands and the Channel Islands, and that is the magnet that sucks all those predators in.
Yep, it is, and again, the Pride has got some sea bass trips on the books there. You can get on one, and he's pretty good at getting them.
Oh my God, he's really good. In fact, I think he got them early last year,
yeah.
February.
Yeah,
kind of
and he's
thing?
got some trips up there doing the same thing this year. So
Yeah.
February he'll start going again, doing some boat maintenance, but he'll be back out there.
Yeah, I think we're looking down the barrel of a really good sea bass year for sure in the Channel Islands. So if you have a 2-day trip out of here, you're good for that. But I'm thinking maybe this is the year that Catalina gets going again. Catalina used to have epic white sea bass fishing.
We can only hope.
Man, that would be great, wouldn't it?
It would.
Then you got the Pursuit.
Because you got the Pursuit. The Pursuit did really well with him this year.
He had like a week stretch there where I think he's catching limits of sea bass.
Limits of sea bass and big ones.
Yeah. I was here watching those fish get unloaded, just going, whoa.
Is that the funnest thing? Just watching the fish come off the boats. Just, carts and carts full.
I think there's a business there. If you had a little coffee bar here and people come down here and just sit there and watch the fish come in.
Yeah, the boats are coming in. Come on down and watch.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, when they do come in, that rail will get full out there sometimes.
The Freedom running around at San Clemente Island was a story to be mentioned. Okay. Why? William, I'm not sure what you mean, but running around at San Clemente Island fishing there, or do you have some particular thing in mind? Naughty Boy 78, great show as always. Phil, what are your plans for the PCS show? Meet and greet, any guests in your booth? So, Naughty Boy, I've been thinking about this. I still haven't firmed it up, but what I'm going to do, as opposed to getting a booth, I could sell beer at that event too, because I work over there at the Orange County Fair. I'm going to actually sell beer and just hit on everybody for big tips. No, I'm going to set up I'm going to meet and greet, be walking around, and then I'll put out a schedule as to what booths I'm going to be at. Whether it's Daiwa, whether it's Sam from Island Fishing Tackle, Opsin Fluorocarbon. I'll put out a whole list. I'll be there, and I'll be at the Fred Hall show. I'll be at both shows. I'll be at San Diego for a few of the days, down in Del Mar. So that's my plan for right now. That's all subject to change because I'm pretty crazy. But that's where I'm leaning toward right now because I want to be able to go to the different booths. I'd love to bring a big crowd to Opsin. to Daiwa, our great sponsors. Mike Morrison, if he's doing anything. Are you guys doing anything? I think Mike was saying maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah, I
I'm not
don't
sure.
either.
I'm not sure.
Sure. I mentioned the Fred Hall show to him, and he goes, "Yeah, I'll do it." So I'm not sure yet whether Mike's going to do it or not, but hopefully he'll be doing that. Any albacore predictions for 2023? So drop dead, Fred. Believe it or not, you're not going to believe this, but I'm telling you the truth. This is the honest truth from my heart. Bob Osborne, he's a fisheries expert. So I don't just wake up one morning and go, yeah, there's going to be albacore. This guy pores over all these stats. That's why this is so painful. He pores over all this stuff. He takes these graphs of the water temperatures and breaks during a good albacore year and juxtaposes them next to this year's water temps. He goes through a great deal of pain. Let's put it that way. And then Tom Holland, who's an old captain, Tommy is an albacore knowledge expert. He's plugged in to the South Pacific Fleet. He's got an extra sense about it. I talk to him on a regular basis. What are they catching in the South Pacific? Does that bode well for this year? So it's a little too early to start doing that. And everything, once you get to April, May, everything changes oceanographically. So it looks like it's going to be this kind of year, like a La Nina or a neutral year or an El Nino, and then it's all subject to change. So we just need to wait a little bit longer to make that prediction. And then I can make the wrong prediction again. I can see the smile on your face.
I'm still not making the prediction.
Why not? It's funny. You make that prediction, and some of the guys, now they're okay with it, but they're like, hey, don't go there. This is deadly serious. I'm going,
right.
What the hell? I mean, isn't it just like saying, I think Notre Dame's going to win this weekend, and they lose?
Think, right?
Who cares? Right?
This is real stuff, okay?
Man, there's people that are like deadly freaking serious about it. And I'm deadly serious in that we do our due diligence and we research this and we try to get the right answer, but we have failed 2 years in a row. And once again, if there's an El Nino year, we're going to have hot water. I am not going to predict albacore. The thing is, we've had these cooler water years, and of course, wide open Dorado. So, I mean, it's just so wild. You never know what's going to happen. William says he loves the stories. That was not around. It was, okay. That was not around ground. Okay. Brandon, do we still have 3 limit this year, Phil? I haven't read the regulations on sea bass. I'm so unlucky. I fished 3 times on the Pride last year. Everyone next to me got one. This is your year. Don't worry about it, man.
We're going to make sure you get one.
So I think it's 3 up. Do you know that, Reg? It's 3 white sea bass.
3 after...
like June, right?
I don't know the date exactly.
You know what's crazy about that, too? I mean...
15th or something like that.
Yeah, I think it is. June 15th. You know what's crazy about that, Tony?
What's that?
That's when they bite the best.
Right.
They go white. I mean, if I were a fisheries guy that was trying to...
Save fish.
Yeah, I mean, it makes no sense, but I'm good with it.
Yeah.
I love sea bass. I love to eat sea bass.
I don't think anything's changing on them, so...
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I told Captain Sean, says Brandon, I hate sea bass. He laughed at me. Literally, the entire boat laughed at him. Both right and left of me, arm to arm. Everybody got bit, and they wouldn't eat my squid on the dropper loop. Man, was I mad. I don't know. Sometimes you get snake bit, man.
That's how they call it fishing, right?
I had talk about snake bit. I caught 5 albacore this day, and I felt like hell because I had guys next to me who had 20.
What's wrong with me?
Oh my God! It was on the qualifier 105, Tony, and it got to the point where I was just like ready to kill myself as a kid, and I'd throw and couldn't get a. And I mean, it was easy to get 10 fish in this bite. Easy, easy, easy. And when my brother and I fished San Diego, we were angry at one another if we didn't have 3 times what the average was. So, 20 guys had 20 albacore. We better have 3,
Right.
or we screwed up. And we held ourselves to that. We were like, crazy, like hardcore fishing hard. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it was part of when you're younger, and even guys that are older still maintain that kind of.
You see it every day on the docks.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. All the guys. We're fishing for this, who's got the big, still fishing.
Yeah, exactly.
Still fishing, man.
Exactly. I might tell a funny story. I don't know if I should tell this one. Let me think about that. About albacore and Frank LaPreste and my brother, and oh my God, that turned into a whole thing. Jorge Bocanegra. Hola, Felipe. Great show the other day with Bart Hall. I totally enjoyed that, Jorge. You watched it, and you met Bart.
I met Bart, good guy.
What a great guy. I was talking, our fisheries expert, Bob Osborne, I was talking to him today, and he said, Bart has been so good to so many people. He's such a great guy, and Bob's going to go to the show. And everybody, please, let's manage expectations. I'm not telling you the Long Beach show is not going to be good, but it's not going to have all the landings at it as in previous years. But if we go out and support Bart this year, we're going to get the Hall show back. So please, if you can do it, go out there, just enjoy yourselves, have a good time. I'll be there. I'll let you know where I'm going to be. It's always a good time with me, right?
Yep.
Thanks for lying, man. I appreciate Yeah, you gave it away. If we could do that, that would be absolutely great. Yeah. Thank you so much. Glenn Gray, it's 3 sea bass. Brandon, with regulations between points and dates. Okay, yeah, it is 3. It's 1 now, and then turns to 3 like June 15th. And I'm looking for a huge sea bass here this year. Huge. Yeah. There's too much squid. And plus, I'm sure you hear that China has just greatly curtailed their purchasing.
So not a lot of it was bought up this year.
Yeah, not a lot. So there's less commercial pressure.
Right.
And that's just got to help that whole food chain along. Tony, question mark. He wants to know, I guess, are you Tony? I was the hot ticket on the Amigo. Ask Phil. You're going to have to pay me to say that. I had 6 hookups on bluefin, landed 4 my 2-day limit within maybe 6 hours. But when it comes to those darn sea bass, I suck. Any suggestions, Tony?
Listen to your deckhands.
Yeah, that's a great suggestion, actually. Right?
Those guys want to catch fish. So, yeah, whatever they're doing or telling you to do.
Brandon does that, though. Yeah. He listens to him.
Yeah.
I don't think any of the deckhands told him to throw a sheet over him.
I know guys that are my age that haven't caught a white sea bass. So.
Right, they are an enigmatic, kind of mysterious fish.
You have to target them, and you have to go after them, and you'll end up with a lucky one every now and again. But if you go for a boat to target them, you're going to get them.
Yeah. Did you ever hear the story of my biggest sea bass?
No.
You didn't?
What happened here?
Well, it was the circumstance. The circumstance was when my firstborn son, Philip, was born. And I was out fishing.
I think you shared this with me a couple years ago.
Yeah, maybe, right? It was a 69-pound sea bass. So, hey, in one hand, I got the birth of my son, and the other one, I got a 69-pound white sea bass.
14 pounds over here, 69 over here.
All right, I shouldn't have done that, perhaps, but Philip wears it like a badge of, my dad caught a 60, his biggest sea bass when I was born. So right. I was up there that afternoon or evening. Yeah. So it all worked out.
Yeah, I was there.
That was a good one. All right, so I'll tell you the Lopreste story real fast. My brother and I were pinheads on the Searcher.
Good.
And we were catching, I told you we had to get 3 to every one. Well, we were going up in the parking lot. This is illegal, but we were selling our fish. Right. And we were making... So my brother, idiot, in front of Lopreste one day says, hey, I made $110. What'd you make? To me. And Frank goes, what?
I know where this is going.
Oh, my God, yeah. You guys are making more than we're making on the side. We're busting our ass all day long. And so, new rule, you can keep, I forget, 2 fish or something like that. And I'm like, you screwed this whole thing up. Yeah. What's wrong with you? And literally, it was embarrassing to walk into the wheelhouse that night because every boat was talking about this. Because Frank was talking to
somebody. That's the way it
goes. These jackasses, Oh, my God. You know how it is. It's as the dog's turn. You ask Frank that, he probably wouldn't remember. But, my brother, Paul, he screwed that one up, that's for sure. All right. More questions. And we still have a lot to talk about, everybody. Dennis Luang is a great guy. He fished San Quintin recently and said that's 140 miles down the Baja coast. He said 18 to 20 pound yellowtail wide open down there. Oh. Great fishing. So that bodes well. John Dipley, who ran out of here for years, always used to ask me when I went to Mexico, any yellows down there? Because he knew that the progression would move up. Yeah. And so they're having great wintertime yellowtail fishing down there. San Diego will be running Punta Colonet trips. That's 120 miles down the coast. And I expect them to catch some yellows and good rockfish down there in that neck of the woods. Big Mouth Tim P says, damn right. He screwed everything up. Everyone go to support the Hall shows the weekend, January 20th, 21st with the boat show in Pomona. All right, that sounds good. Glenn Gray, thanks, Tony, for being there tonight. You know Glenn?
I think I do, yes.
I'm sure you do, right? Sometimes you don't know the name, but
Right,
if you walked in here,
right,
you'd be
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I mean, how many people do you deal with? I mean, you must.
Oh, in season.
Thousands.
Yeah, hundreds a day, yeah.
How many of the people that walk into 22nd Street Landing are decent, good people, and how many are jerks? What percentage would you give that?
Are you talking about the employees or?
Oh, no, we know they're all jerks. Starting with you.
Yeah. Basically, everybody's good. I mean,
Really?
There's situations that people don't understand the way the business
That's okay.
works and the way the monies work with the business and stuff like that. And they'll get upset about that kind of stuff. But I'm saying 99.9% of the people are decent people.
You know, that's great.
I mean, you get on the boats with them. You see them on the boats next year. We've all been on the boats, and I mean, every once in a while you have a little confrontation. Somebody's that's not paying attention. Somebody's too drunk, something like that.
Right.
But for the most part, as long as nothing's pushing the buttons,
Right.
everybody's good. Yeah.
Every once in a while, you'll get a guy that'll lay on the galley floor and throw a sheet over himself, but that doesn't happen that often. You know, that's a really depraved kind of a person that would do that.
I know. Who would do that?
I don't know. Hey, so guess what percentage? When I bartended at the Orange County Fair, what percentage of the people do you think are jerks? If you had to take a guess,
50%.
I would say way less than 1%.
Really?
People there are so courteous, so nice. You run into like kids, I'm saying 22, 20, they're kids who will say sir and please and thank you. And the funniest thing
Wake
is,
up.
yeah, really, I'm telling you, it renews my faith in what's going on.
Yeah, that's nice. It's nice that you see that.
And you know, when I do the motorcycle races, I forget what they call that. Anyway, when I work that, inevitably you'll get some blue collar, kind of long hair, beard, walking up, looks like he could frickin' break you in two and spit you out. Walk up, stand in front of you, look at you and say, could I please have a Bud Light, and if it's not too much trouble, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
You know? And then in the middle of that, the national anthem starts playing. Hat off, the guy stands up. It cinches up my spine because that's real Americana.
Right.
They're rough, getting tough. You wouldn't want to F with the guy, but he's a good American and he's courteous and tips are great. So
Yeah, there you go.
yeah, that's the most important thing, right? Nobody does sea bass like the Dreamer and Captain Alan Watson. William says that, and William, man, Alan Watson is not only a character, but he is such a talented fisherman. You are so right about that, Alan. I've fished with him for a lot of years. The last time I did with my kids, we had great fishing, but we were on the floor, or I should say on the deck, laughing at all the stuff that comes out of his mouth. Very talented fisherman, awesome fisherman, and he's got the sea bass thing dialed in. It may be too early to say Sean Roberts is getting to that level, but I truly believe he is. The guy's a really good.
Yeah.
He's an animal at that. Really, really good. Janelle is laughing. LOL, she says. Janelle's on here. You want to say anything to Janelle? Look in that camera and talk to your coworker right now and tell her how.
What's so funny?
Yeah, what is so funny? We don't even know. I like the way Brandon puts Tony with a question mark. Like, Brandon, that's not a question, Tony. You put those grammatical devices after a question. But no, I like it. It's funny. Tony, question mark. Will we see any winter yellows this winter? I love the fact he's asking you to screw these things up.
Yeah,
I love winter and springtime. Yo-yo
I
jigging.
don't have a crystal ball, but I like to think there's some home guards out there that people can get.
Right. We just talked about down the Baja coast. There's good yellowtail fishing that Dennis pointed out. So who knows? Maybe that's going to get ready to go. I'd love that, wouldn't you?
Heck yeah, it's security, job security.
Well, Mike takes good care of you too, even when they're not biting, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
Jorge Bocanegra. Phil, I remember you telling a story of a place you called Variety Beach down in Baja California Sur, Mexico. You know what? I haven't thought about that for a long time, Jorge. And the guy that talked to me about it was Frank Savino. And you can find Frank, just go, you can find him. He did a podcast there. He now lives down in Mexico. And Frank was a captain on the Enterprise. He's run several boats. He's a dear friend of mine. I just sent him a message today, or hey, telling him that I need to come down and see him really, really soon. But he talked about this beach called Variety Beach, where they literally filled 4 giant ice chests. Those, what are those, 100 cords? Or
Yeah, something like that.
yeah, some crazy thing. And it was like a commercial fishing operation. They're surf fishing, catching corvina, catching yellowfin croaker, catching halibut, wide freaking open, barred perch, off the hook. I'm so glad you mentioned that, because I need to mention that to Frank one more time again. It was one of those beaches, though, where like the tide comes up and it's so dramatic that you lose your car if you're if you don't get out at the right time. So it kind of scares me, on that. But as long as you want to drive, I'm in.
Yeah, there you go.
So yeah, I got to do it just north of Guerrero Negro, exactly. And Guerrero's down there. I'm going to say 12-hour drive, something like that, from TJ. All right, Brandon, blame Boise State University, Phil. Using a question mark grabs attention. Hey. Boise, all right. Sounds like they need a little rehab on their grammatical division there. I thought an exclamation point would do that, but maybe it is a question mark. All right, Tony. So what other boats can we talk about here that we haven't mentioned? We mentioned everybody. Freedom is a great open party boat.
Right.
And Tino, kind of late in the season, handed the reins over to Trevor.
Trevor, who's doing a great job.
He's doing a fantastic
job. Yeah. It's too bad we just can't get the weather isn't cooperating right now. He'd want to go. Getting close to the end of the season here. It's probably going to be done here soon.
Yeah.
But taking off next year, yeah, he'll be at the reins, I think. I'm not sure what Tino's doing yet. I haven't really heard if he's going to be, how much he's going to be back, or if he's going to be back.
Oh, do you think, is there some talking of him
No,
retiring?
I haven't heard. I just at the end of the year last year, everything kind of went over to Trevor to finish up there. And
yeah, Tino was telling me.
I don't know if he's coming in right away or
Right.
what his plan is at all.
He told me that the kid was ready and it was time to turn it over to him at the end of the year. I assume that Tino's coming back, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Yeah, we don't want to get Tino pissed at it. Hey, this guy said you're
we
quitting.
want Tino back.
Yeah, he's so much fun.
Yeah,
he tells some pretty funny jokes too.
Oh, every day. Every day he leaves, he comes in and tells me a joke.
Does he?
Yep.
Do you ever have to fake a laugh at them?
No.
Do you
They're
genuinely belly laugh?
because they're probably what you shouldn't be telling in public, and they're pretty damn funny.
Yeah, they are. Did you ever see his sheep's head call? You missed that.
No, I missed that one, but
Man,
I heard talk about it.
No, it's pretty funny. Should we do another one? Pick one of those.
Okay.
All right, $25 worth of Opsin Fluorocarbon.
Not that one.
Why not?
Oh, go ahead.
All right. This is a little tougher one here. I don't know if you're going to get this, but we'll see. What Friedman Adventures TikTok post recently had over 3 million views? A couple weeks ago, we put up a post, and it had over 3 million views. That's pretty impressive, right?
3 million. You didn't count those.
Yeah, no, I didn't. They did.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to, the Chinese government runs that, so everything they say is true. Just kidding. So, which one was it? It was a post, it was on TikTok, and it had over 3 million views. People from all over the world commenting about this. So, I'm going to count down. So, try 10 backwards? Is that enough time?
Maybe.
10. Oh, man. You get the line then. 9. And DJB, Rescue at Sea. He is our third winner. Greg was just behind him. But DJB, you guys have to text me. Please remember, 657-227-6459. Send me a text, and I'll be able to text you a little code that you put in at checkout. Besides putting in FA at checkout, you'll be able to put this code in and get a $25. Right. It was about Desiree. It was about the rescue. I edited it up, got it down to 15 seconds. And I go,
How do you tell that story in 15 seconds?
I couldn't, but I could make it dramatic enough where everybody's like, oh, I got to hear the rest of this. And then all of a sudden we picked up 100,000 views
It's just like
over there on YouTube.
You pull up Friedman's Adventures, that's what you're going to see first thing.
Yeah. And we did that by design because that is just,
it's
I'll never be able to, well, I'll try, but.
absolutely the best story ever. I mean, not for everybody, but.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, when I walked out of here, Patrick, my son, was out there, and I said, Patrick, how was that? And he likes Joe Rogan, and he goes, Dad, that was the best podcast I've ever heard in my life. And he was like serious. He wasn't trying to blow smoke up.
No, it's a great one. Yeah.
Yeah, and the whole backstory to that, man. Did you know John Woodrum walked in here? My son told John what was going on. So John walked in. Philip was getting Desiree and telling her she was going to be a translator, which he didn't want to do. He was like, Dad, what if she don't want to do? I go, get your ass out there and tell her. And if she doesn't want to do it, we're not going to force her.
Right.
See what she says. And so he went out and he said, hey, we're good. He told John what was going on. So John walked in here. Paul Strasser sitting there. Paisano's off doing something. I'm here to manage like exactly what freaking happened. Woodrum walks in and assumes that Paisano's the only one who doesn't know what's going on. And comes in and goes, so Paisano's the only one that doesn't know she's the girl that they saved? And Strasser was freaking reading something, and he didn't even pay attention to him.
Oh.
He just was, and he was writing, he was getting ready for the interview. And I go to Woodrum, I go, get out of here. And he goes, oh, he didn't. Yeah. Oh, it almost blew the whole thing. And Woodrum is a great guy. John's a great guy. I love John. He didn't know.
That's great that he didn't hear it because Paul's reaction was.
His jaw dropped.
Yeah.
And then Paisano, I mean, when I said this is not a translator, I didn't have to go any further. Mark Paisano, this famous, he slammed his hand in. He figured it out intuitively. And then she choked and couldn't get it out. And then when she said, I'm Desiree, I'm starting to tear up. Somebody from some part of the world put up there a comment, and I think she nailed it. She said, when she says, I'm Desiree, the whole world stops.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome, Phil.
Yeah. I'm not blowing my own horn. It was just such a beautiful moment, Tony.
No, it's great.
All right, that's it. So, DJB, you got it, man. You win, $25. Glenn Gray, Phil, you are the most gracious host, and you really deserve it with all your hard work and dedication. We love Phil. The rescue at sea made me cry immediately. Glenn, that is...
Everybody.
I'm ready to cry right now, and your comment really means a lot to me. Really, really does. Makes all the hard work and everything we try to put into Friedman Adventures, makes it all worthwhile. Thank you so very much. Really appreciate it. Another big mouth. Tim P said, my brother, the big mouth that screwed up our La Preste thing, and Woodrum. But John didn't know. My brother should have known better, but he was like 15 years old, so who knows. But yeah, that's funny, Tim. All right, so we got another winner. As I look up here, our Mexico stuff, do you see all the bags we have out here, Tony?
Yeah, wow.
You know what? That was just stuff people recently dropped off.
I was watching you guys separated all the other day.
Got
tons.
Yeah, we got 8 pallets at Gallagher Staging that we're still moving across. A guy by the name of Phil Capriccio, he has a 72-foot yacht, poor guy. And I mentioned to him, I don't know how to get all this stuff down to Cedros because you go through the border and they tax you and they make you pay and it's really hard. He goes, why don't we fill my yacht up with, geez, DJB, thank you so much, my friend. Just threw a $50 bill up there. Deeply, deeply appreciated. Thank you, and we'll put that to work on our Baja stuff. That is really kind of you. I appreciate it very much. Thank you. So Phil Capriccio mentioned to a couple of friends, hey, I'm doing this thing. Phil's going to fill up the boat. He's got tons of stuff, but if you could get some school supplies, guess what? He doesn't need one thing from me. His friends filled the boat.
Wow.
School supplies, clothing,
Wow.
all this stuff. So he was going to be down there on the 6th of January, and you know what happened? The weather screwed him up, which actually works out good because he's talking about going middle of January if the weather's good, and then I can make it.
There you go.
I couldn't make it, so that should be great. Dan Smith, 100%. Dan is a great guy. His wife Kim down here selling raffle tickets for us the other day. Really, really great. One more time, DJB, thank you so very much. That is really, really awesome. So Mexico stuff is going along really, really well. Our charters, if you want the list, I'll send it to you. All you have to do is send me a text at 657-227-6459, and I'll send you out the list. Let's see, just from my head here, in May, we're on the Endeavor up there out of Ventura, almost sold out. At the end of May and to June 1st, we're on the Apollo for a 2-day trip. That boat's got staterooms,
Nice.
great galley,
Very nice boat.
really nice boat. And I think Jeff will probably be running it.
Yeah, I'm sure he will be.
Jeff and I have been friends for 30 years, 40 years, something like that. It's been a long time. So we got that. And then we're on board the Amigo for a couple of trips. We'll be down in San Diego on the Malahini. I think I'm going to do an Apollo trip out of Seaforth Sport Fishing, and that will get added a little bit later. Who am I forgetting here? Oh, no, I think that's it for right now. We've got 7 or 8 trips. So I'll send you that list. All you got to do, just text me, and I'll text it to you later tonight or tomorrow morning for sure. All right, Brandon. We had one last year, Phil. Ocean Odyssey found someone. The person was diving, and the boat left him stranded. He floated like 30 miles offshore. The Coast Guard gave the captain a medal. Very cool. That's always good stuff. Yeah, Rick Slater, can I go to Ensenada without a passport? All right, Rick, I'm going to be honest with you here, okay? Listen to me. You are supposed to have a U.S. passport, okay? You're supposed to have one. Here's the reality. I'll probably get in trouble for saying this, but might as well be honest, right?
There you go, yeah.
Here's the reality. When you people like, I get these people all the time like, oh, I can't go to Mexico because if I don't have a passport, they'll lock me up in Mexico. And you're going through U.S. customs when you're coming back. So Mexico's not asking for a passport. You're going through U.S. customs. U.S. customs is not going to lock you up in Mexico. If they're going to lock you up anywhere, it'd be in the United States. If they locked up everybody without a U.S. passport, they'd go insane. Okay, they can't do that. At the worst, you're going to get some guy at one of the border, and I have high respect for the Border Patrol guys. High respect. Put their life on the line, do great work. They're going to give you a little bit of hey, you guys are supposed to have a passport. What's your problem? Yes, sir. I'm sorry, sir. I'll take care of that. I promise you. Okay. You show you got to have some ID. So you bring a birth certificate or in your driver's license. You only have your driver's license. You're okay. But you're way better off to have a passport. I have the card that I carry in my wallet, so I always have my passport with me. And that's for land travel or sea travel. Not if you're flying, you got to have the regular passport. But you might get yelled at, and sometimes you might not. The guy might, they're busy. They got bigger fish to fry. Let's put it that way. They're looking for drugs. They're looking for stuff like that. So the answer is, not trying to get you in any trouble, Rick, but that's what will happen. Okay, you might get screamed at by a Border Patrol guy who tells you to get your spit together and get a passport, and that's it. Okay, so you're not going to get locked up in La Mesa Penitentiary in Tijuana. That's not going to happen. All right, Relentless, Greg B. Yeah, we have a Relentless trip coming up, but I'm not sure when that is. We had we have 2 trips on the Relentless. See that? I'm up on all these things. Thank God Greg's here tonight. We're going to have 2 trips. I fished the Relentless last year with Greg, and we had a spectacular trip. Really great crew, great fun, and it was good. Count me in on the Apollo trip in San Diego, Phil, and that is Israel de la Cruz, who is an exceptional father and human being, and I'm lucky to call him a friend. He's a good guy, super good guy. All right, we'll do that. Well, I'll make sure you hear about that. Any trips going on halibut trips? Never caught one. So I will tell you this, Isaac, that Apollo trip in late May is going to be one that I would not doubt. I'm thinking more white sea bass, but when you're fishing those sea bass grounds, you're catching those halibut too in those squid grounds. I would think that'd be a good one. I think that Endeavor trip that we've got going on out of Ventura would be a good one. Around April, right when the grunions start to run, so that starts to occur in March. Halibut start to move in on the beaches and feed on that, but they are on those squid nests. They love gorging on those squid. So I'm thinking April, May, it starts to get into high gear, and we have our late trip. We have a middle of the month trip on the Endeavor. Nobody does it better than Tucker McCombs at Ventura Sport Fishing, 805-676-3474, and then that 2-day trip on the Apollo. Those should be some really great ones. Where are we? 74 minutes into this show. That's pretty good, right?
Yes.
Not bad. You want to pick another one of these? Or why am I shoving that one on you?
I'm going to give you that one.
Oh! Yeah, I've tried to force the ace of spades on you. All right, here we go. This is one of our short videos. Why am I looking over there? I should be looking at the camera. This is one of our short videos again, okay? The last one was the thresher shark, I think. And we're going to go back to the Wilden Sack. Captain Sean Morgan, who is a crazy son of a gun. Let me tell you that right now. Recently, we had video footage of a bunch of fish that surrounded his boat in the docks. They were underneath the lights. What fish was that? What type of fish surrounded the Wilden Sack in San Jose del Cabo? Who was it?
I got the answer.
No, please. You do? Actually?
Yeah.
Oh, well, then you can call out the winner because, let's see, anybody got it? Barholt made a prediction about albacore. Calico. Israel de la Cruz, is he right?
He got it.
Israel gets $25 worth of his favorite bluegill. Hey, you're not watching, Glenn Gray. Come on, man. It was mullet. He had a whole bunch of mullet around, and Sean was doing his usual play-by-play, which is pretty hilarious. I had to cut some of it out because of the profanity. He says marlin. No, they were at the dock, and they were surrounded by mullet. Did you see that?
Yeah,
something?
I did.
Oh, you
Yeah,
did?
I did, yeah.
That was funny, wasn't it? If you could have actually heard, he's just like, oh my God, we're surrounded by mullet. But I had to put a voiceover on it to get people to leave a comment. So he's just a character, let me tell you. All right, we only have one more of those to go. Israel de la Cruz. Israel, you can send me a text and just remind me, and then I can respond. So if you don't mind doing that, that would be great. Let's see, what else do I have up there on the board? Events coming up. Well, the next two events were definitely for me will be Fred Hall, and it'll also be the South Coast Sport Fishing event down there where I bartend. So she's already asked me to work that show, and I'm like, I could probably make some pretty good money at this thing, but I probably should be out glad handing and doing that. So those two events. Our events here at 22nd Street Landing, we've had two, and they've both been great.
Yeah, you did really well with a lot of people.
Yeah, a lot of people, but a lot of good people.
Absolutely.
Yeah, a lot of fun, and it really was a good time, no question about it. Is fishing just going to come to a halt here in February? Is it just going to be over entirely, or will there, if there's anything?
There comes a time where the boats are coming back online and they're going down, and there'll be some time where I don't think there'll be anything coming out of here, but not for long.
Yeah,
not for long.
Like
I know. Last year we were. I went on a trip, and I think it was February on the Monte Carlo at twilight, so it gets going right away.
Joe Martinez, who was here tonight, said, "Hey, if it wasn't for this weather, we'd be catching bluefin right now, probably."
Yeah,
that's probably right.
Well, the weather stopped us from going out there. I don't even know if they're out there still right now.
Yeah, exactly. That's for sure. Isaac just threw us $20. Man, Isaac, thank you so very much. Tony and I can eat tonight, finally, right?
Yeah.
Isaac.
Actually, I did eat good tonight. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. How was that?
It was great.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was really good.
Okay, it was basic. But
yeah, basic, but that's grandma, Grandma
yeah,
made that,
exactly. I made Tony a burrito tonight. And so good. I'm glad you
really
enjoyed
good.
that. Hey, Isaac, thank you so very, very much. Really appreciate it. Phil, pass it down to Greg B. since I promote. All right, we'll do that. Greg B., you finally got some Opsin Fluorocarbon. Thanks to Israel. Really appreciate it. Rick Slater, how are the boat rates in Ensenada compared to San Diego? Rick, they're much cheaper. Sometimes I miss out on that because most of the time I'll be honest, I get comped down there. But my friend Andrew Deal, I think, was talking to the guys at Blackfin, Victor at Blackfin. I don't want to screw this up because I give you the wrong price. But you can grab one of his pongas, and they're big. I mean, you can fish 4 guys on there easy. They fish more than that. So I think a full day trip out of Blackfin Sport Fishing, 4 guys, and they burn the fuel, man. They run. I think it was like $250. Okay, so
Wow.
2 guys, it's $1.25 a piece.
Yeah.
And of course, you should tip. And I don't have to tell you, Rick. I'm sure many of you out there, I feel like you should tip American standards as opposed to, well, these guys, a $5 bill means a lot to them. I'm going to give them 5 and they should be happy.
Right. They'll feed their family for a week on that.
Yeah, right.
No,
Yeah,
it's
come
not
on.
like that. These guys are working hard for you.
Don't be the ugly American, right?
Right.
Go down there and be generous. And if the crew deserves it, if they're a bunch of jerks, then don't tip.
You get a deal off the bat,
Yeah.
right?
I'll tell you a funny story. Pete Thomas was the outdoor writer for the LA Times. He freaking jumps in a swimming pool with his pants on because it was so hot. I think it was in, I can't remember, Laredo maybe, or I can't remember. Anyway, he jumps in and he has all his money in his freaking pocket. So he freaking gets to the hotel room and he puts all the money on the bed and lays it all out to dry. And, goes out in the morning for breakfast. We meet for breakfast. He goes back and the maid has put all these gorgeous flowers and a huge thank you note on the bed.
Oh, wow.
Like $200, something like that.
Buddy.
And so he looks and he goes, I'm not going to ask for it back now.
That's a great story.
Funny, isn't it? So Pete, $200 tip for that. I mean, she must have been really stoked.
Right.
So they're good, Rick. You can get great stuff down there. Isaac wants get some dinner. Great show. Thank you so much. Tony's making this a great show. Greg says, thank you so much. Now I can catch some fish this year. He loves Opsin Fluorocarbon. Can we keep black sea bass still in Mexico, Phil? Everyone keeps telling me how delicious it is. They are delicious. And you can walk into the fish market in Tijuana or anywhere, and you can buy MERO, and that's black sea bass, Mero. And you can catch and keep. I think Martin Padilla had one that I saw they jacked up on a big crane. It was so big they couldn't even lift the thing. You can keep black sea bass, and they are tasty. I will tell you that right now. Good stuff. So, yeah, you can do that. MJM. Tony, I haven't dropped anything in the ocean. Oh, this is. Oh, I know who this is now. Michael.
He's a great fisherman at lures.
No, I know. Hey, he was down the other day, and
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
He was on it.
was he down here on the hot dog thing? Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was here.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was out here.
Hey, you got to come on. You got to drop something again. That's always good
Well,
stuff.
he dropped his lure bag.
Right.
And he came back a few days later and fished it out. He actually got it out of there. So
And you kind of helped him with that, didn't you? Or?
Came and pulled it.
Yeah, right.
Pulling a jig to pull it up with.
You know what's weird about that? He said that he dropped it like, and I would have thought that it wouldn't have moved at all, but he's caught it, or
Yeah.
he caught it. He snagged it like
20 feet away
Yeah.
from where it went down.
And I know guys have dropped their cell phones, and guys go 2
Oh,
days
those
later
boat-
and they find it in the same spot.
Those boat motors. They
go.
They turn the water up pretty good. And low tide, it's not that deep there.
There you go. That's exactly what it is. Yeah, the Freedom coming in there.
The Monte Carlo backing in.
Yeah,
Probably gave it more push. The
Yeah.
Freedom coming back in.
yeah, exactly. Well, I think we're ready to. Oh wait, we got one
Got
more
one
of
more?
these,
We
and
got
then
one more.
if anybody has any more questions, we're not leaving
Here,
until.
I'll take that one.
Oh, very. Yeah, why my hands? Pick one of these. We can tear it in
I
half.
picked it. Yeah.
All right, here we go. $25, the last one tonight. $25 worth of Opsin Fluorocarbon. Tony, you were great having on the show tonight, man. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you have to do this more often.
Oh, yeah, it was fun.
You have a little bit of a history in radio, don't you?
I did a little bit of radio.
Let's
yeah.
hear about that.
In Springfield, Missouri, I did a big band and swing radio station, AM radio. You know, it was called
Got a great voice.
a Wednesday morning coffee show with Tony and Steve.
Really?
Yeah, me and my buddy did for years. Yeah.
How was it? Fun?
Fun, yeah. It was almost like this, coming in and doing this. I had a good time tonight.
Yeah, there's something, I don't know. I mean, I'm hooked on it. I love doing it. I love people. And so Yeah, it's always great. Jorge Bocanegra, 1. He's answering a question from before, but I don't know what it is. What is it? What are you talking about?
It's that one.
Which one?
That
this
one.
one. Oh, okay, maybe that's it. Okay, here we go. Okay. You have to pay pretty close attention to get this one. I will say you this, even though it makes me kind of sick to my stomach.
Oh.
No, okay. All right, Bart Hall brought a hat in. He wasn't wearing it, but we did show the hat during yesterday's show. What hat did Bart Hall bring in to the Friedman Adventures studio? I'm surprised he didn't get hit by a lightning bolt when he did it. Tick, tick, tick. Do you think anybody's going to get this, Tony? Do you know the hat?
No,
Do
I
you
didn't.
remember?
I missed that part.
Hey, this might be a stumper here. I'm going to start counting down. 10. Let's talk hookup. Accurate. Wrong. I could give hints. Why don't I do that, huh?
Okay.
There's a flag behind me. Tony, what flag is there?
Looks like the Fighting Irish to me.
Fighting Irish. It's a big nemesis of the Fighting Irish.
Indy.
The one on the table, Bob Sands. No, I don't think Bob Sands has anything against the Irish, Gray. Jorge Bocanegra, USC. Fight on. Oh, my God. It tears me up to even say it, being a Notre Dame fan. Oh, all these guys are coming in, but it's Jorge who got it first. Jorge, send me a text tonight. I'll send you your $25. Jorge Bocanegra. All right, yeah. Bart talked about he was going to be a professional football player. He was the best football player, I think, in the Valley the year that, and then he got injured, and you know how that goes.
Oh,
in
yeah.
that sport.
That's always a sad story.
Yeah, so SC, no good, says Ruben Lopez. I'm not going to get into that whole SC Notre Dame thing. I'll lose half my audience out there. No, I'll lose more than half. More people out there are SC fans than Notre Dame fans. All right, hey, everybody, if you don't have any more questions, it's been a pleasure to get back. We missed you all so much. I hope you had a nice Christmas because I didn't see you during that time. Well, I see you on the morning briefing every day. And I hope you have a wonderful new year. I hope you can join us on a Friedman Adventures charter. That would be great. Keep your ears open for events. Attend the Fred Hall. Attend both shows, all these fishing shows. We need you out there. We need the community to be together and strong. It makes a big difference. Getting kids out on the water right now is more important than it ever has been. Thank you for all the stuff you do for our Mexico adventures and our Mexico sending all those goods across the border. That means so much to us. Tony, did you have a good time?
I did.
You want to do this again sometime?
Sure, I'll do it sometime again.
All right.
Yeah.
You can. I'm gonna say goodbye to everybody, and then I'm gonna let Tony kind of wave while I go over there and shut the camera off. Since our budget isn't exactly through the roof around here. We don't. Alex, the intern, he left.
What did you do to him? No.
Yeah, no, I didn't do anything. He's got a Chinese father, and Chinese fathers, when you come home with a B+, want to kill you.
Yeah,
Oh, and that's good. I mean, I'm not. He's doing way better studying and doing his thing. So there it is.
Good. He's a good kid.
Rick Slater says you are the best. Thank you, Rick. Thank you. Steve Oropesa coming back to Friedman Adventure. Yeah, hopefully he is. He's been so busy. He walked in here not that long ago and he said, "Hey, you want to get this back to looking like a professional show?" And I said, "Yeah, that's why I haven't called you."
Kind of, sort of.
Yeah. No, and so I said, "Yeah, get your butt back in here." So hopefully Steve will be back. That would be great. He's over there working with Promar a lot, and he's a busy guy and got more kids coming into his lovely family. So no question about it. He actually did our taping at Bass Pro Shops. We did, I think, 6 podcasts, one after another there, and they were great. And Bob Miner out there at Rancho Cucamonga. Bob, you know how much I love you, and it was really, really a lot of fun to be there with some good friends, Bob, and everybody at the Bass Pro Shops that we know. And those were great shows. I'll post those up again so you can take a listen to them. So hopefully he's going to be back. Isaac, you say it every time. My internet connection is so slow. It screws him up when he's trying to answer. Tony, say goodbye to everybody.
Come on out.
And we will see you soon. Thanks, everybody, for your great support. I'll see you tomorrow morning for the morning briefing. And, of course, we'll have lots more shows in coming days. Take care, my friends. Really appreciate everything.